Cooter here. We're wrapping this up. I just thought we would get on and kind of do a little wrap-up video of these ball joint deletes. You guys been watching the channel, you've been seeing Rick's videos. We bought 3 of these things, 3 kits from Josh at American Iron Off-Road. Put a set in Bill's 05 and up, F250 axle, 350 axle. Rick got a set in his JK, no issues. I was the last one to go. I got a set for my knuckles are F450, 550, so kind of the same idea, just different sizes. We had nothing but fitment issues. I hate to say it, I hate to bash anybody, but I was a bit disappointed on the way most of the parts fit. The first sets of cups I got dropped right into the knuckles. I did a lot of measuring. I did a lot of fitment checking. I measured brand new ball joints. Had nothing to do with the holes in my knuckles being too big. I measured a set of two sets of brand new ball joints just to compare. Ended up having to get another set of cups made. Devin up at Innovative Machine Products in Maine, Innovative Machine Solutions, I apologize, up in Maine, took care of all that stuff. He manufactures all the parts for Josh at American Iron. I've talked to both of them. Devin has been spectacular in correcting these tolerance issues. The biggest being the upper cups that I got up on here. When we first got them, they looked great, but they dropped right into the knuckles. They also were not zinc plated like they were supposed to be. They were just plain steel. The lower cups I thought were okay until I went to put them in, and once I lined them up, they also dropped right in, but they were a slip fit. The uppers were probably 20,000ths of an inch too small. So way off on the manufacturing, on the measurements. I don't know where the numbers came from. Devin was just building them off of a blueprint. Can't blame him for that, but he stepped up. He made me another set within a week. I had cups that fit perfect. Put the uniballs back in, they fit perfect. I tried to reach out to Josh numerous times. I hate to bash anybody. I hate to say anything bad about him. I know the guy's got a lot on his plate, but he was very hard to get a hold of. He would return a couple texts. After he knew I had problems with this third set, I couldn't get him to answer the phone. And I hate to say that. I hate to put that out there, but it's the truth. And we're just trying to give an honest review of the product. I bought 3 kits. So that's $2,000 roughly worth of ball joint deletes. And the third set, just in my opinion, was rushed to market. The dimensions weren't correct. I don't know if they never test fitted on an actual axle, but they're easy to come by. I mean, I've got a couple sets of these knuckles laying around. I stuck with it, and I told Josh this. I said, look, I love your product. I think it's a great idea. I'm willing to do a little bit of, fine-tuning, a little bit of R&D for you to make it better. And I was told pretty much the product's fine. It's not the product. It's you. I've got a lot of years' experience building these things. Well, watch the videos. You'll find out a lot of the stuff just didn't fit. It needed a little fine-tuning. I would have been nice if he was a little more appreciative and a little open to input on making the product better. He did finally confess to me that it's a new application for them, same design, but a new application, which really kind of sums it up and says it all. It just needed a little R&D. Had he sent me a set and said, hey, why don't you try these and tell me what you think, I would have been a lot happier. I would have been, sure, okay, let's make some revisions then. The video kind of shows all the different points that we had to kind of adjust. And Devin's actually working on another set of the upper aluminum camber caster bushings that are a little bit taller, that have the right dimensions, so they'll slip in and lock into place. So it's worth mentioning. I think overall the product is great. It's a great idea. It's a great design. I think it was rushed to market for this application. It should have been dialed in before I actually dropped my hard-earned money and bought a set and then had trouble with customer service and getting replacement parts. I put way more effort into it than I would have. Normally, if this was something I bought on, Amazon or any other manufacturer, would have gone back in the box and I would have said, just give me a refund. They don't fit. I did offer that. He said, no, hang on to it. I'm going to make you another set of uppers and lowers. I have yet to hear back from him on those. I don't know if he knows that I've been dealing directly with Devin up at Innovative in Maine, but Devin sells these too, so it was in his interest to get it right. I'm happy to be working with him to try to, fine-tune the dimensions and the fitment. He's super guy, super helpful, has gone out of his way, in my opinion. I didn't buy anything from Devin. I bought them all from American Iron directly. At no point did Devin tell me, hey, don't call me, call Josh. He goes, you didn't buy them from me. But he stood up, he stood behind the product that he manufactures. I think that's to be commended. I would recommend anybody reach out to Devin. He's got a Facebook page, a website. He does a lot of great stuff with giant spline axles for the 05 and up Super Duties, a lot of heavy-duty front-end parts. He's got the ball joint deletes also. Great resource, good guy. I only hope that Josh gets things dialed in, gets his design tightened up, and I would love to recommend this to people in the future. I'd like to see what kind of upgrades he makes. And I'll continue to work with Devin to get this fine-tuned. And, that was the reason I stuck with it, because I do believe in the design. I think it does work. It just needed some work to finish it up. And honestly, it wasn't a ton of work. It was more than, as the end consumer, I should have had to do. But at the end of the day, for instance, UPS just dropped off 2 new lower bolts. These bolts here that I got were ½ an inch too short to put everything together. They would have known that if they actually buttoned this up and put it on an actual housing in an axle. They would have known that. And I would have gotten the right length bolts. So that was $42 out of my pocket that I didn't mind spending. Hopefully I'll get it back one of these days. But I wanted to get this done. I wanted to see it through. So roller's back together. We're going to throw some big old tires on the front of it, take it on the rock pile, and